And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Ruby Tuesday race weekend as we prepare for the Oreo Truck Series Season 3, Division 1, to take here to the Pocono Mountains racetrack known as Pocono Raceway. The Tricky Triangle is another name it goes by, and we're going to see just how tricky it is here today as it's going to take on the first field of the NNSCRA, of course, the Division 1 Oreo Truck Series field. 41 drivers set to take to this track, and the pole sitter is the guy who actually went to victory lane at Talladega last week in the Division 1 race, and that's Jacob Lawler. He'll start off alongside of T.O. Bain, who just seems to be oh so close every single race, but either problems or just a bad pit stop or maybe a wrong move here and there just seems to cost him a win each and every week. Can he get it done here today? Another driver who's looking for a little bit of redemption, Jack Richards. He's been on a bit of a skid as of late, and John Dillon looks for his third victory of the Oreo Truck Series this season. We're going to get ready to show you the starting lineup for this race. The points leader, Joseph Bryant, is in the second division race. However, we're going to be keeping our eyes on a few of our top contenders in the standings. T.O. Bain is one. We'll also keep an eye on John Dillon, Adam Chambers, and several other drivers during the course of the day. But without further ado, here's the starting lineup for the first race of the Ruby Tuesday race weekend, the Ruby Tuesday 200. 20 laps of racing at what is known as the Tricky Triangle. Now, one thing about Pocono, you could almost call it a Martinsville. There's not much banking in the turns here. These trucks are going to be sliding around and everything. We'll see just what kind of racing style they'll bring to the table. But the green flag is out. Jacob Lawler looking for his second straight win of this season after picking up what was a rather interesting win over at Talladega due to a problem that Mark George had running out of fuel on the final lap. Speaking of Mark George, a wreck already. I think Devin Wilson, Christian James just slid through that turn and got together, and they're into the outside retaining wall as Jack Richards has gotten by for the top spot. And yes, we are under the caution flag. I'm pretty certain the two drivers that started that wreck that got together were Christian James, Devin Wilson. If I'm not mistaken, I think they rolled off of row number 3. So the two drivers from row 3 getting together. As a matter of fact, Devin Wilson looks like he has continued on. Christian James, I don't see him. So I don't know if he's actually been able to drive away from the scene of the accident or not. Don't even know who else may have been involved as Lawler and Jack Richards. They'll go side by side down to the stripe. It will be Jack Richards who will lead them under the caution flag. Logan Wilson also got a piece of that as well. Natalie Scott, possible damage to her, 28. Lisa Shears comes in the top 5 in the standings. She may have been involved, and there you see Christian James, who I believe he and Devin Wilson were the beginning of that wreck. Let's take a look and see what we're under the caution flag for the first time today. Here's what happened. They almost went 3 wide here. I wonder if maybe Matt Nathan got into the 5 of Logan Wilson, turned him up the racetrack. Right here. Boy, I don't know if the 5 got loose, came up the racetrack, or if the 21 got into the 5 and turned him up, but Matt Nathan, Natalie Scott, they got some damage from that as well as the cars of Devin Wilson and Christian James. For the most part, with it being such a wide track and very wide turns, everybody else was able to get down to the inside and miss this. Ryan Cooper and Jennifer Miller, they kind of got together trying to miss this, but they didn't get any damage or anything. They just were leaning on each other going through there. And everybody else, I think, got through without any damage. You see Barney Ward going through there, Logan Ryan, Lisa Shears, Pichu London gets by, John Stewart, Andrew Waltrip. So pretty much it was about a 5-car incident with Matt Nathan, Christian James, Logan Wilson, Natalie Scott, and Matt Nathan. I believe I just said Matt Nathan. Devin Wilson, sorry. Well, the drivers did not make pit stops under this caution since it was just then that we had just been put under the green flag. Anyway, the way they line up for this restart are Jack Richards leading, Jacob Lawler is second, John Dillon is 3rd, T.O. Bain is 4th, Jacob Cook is up in 5th, Adam Chambers 6th, Ray Wilson is 7th, Brian Young runs 8th, Sean Henley 9th, and Nick Eggleston is 10th. Jake Cole is 11th, 12th is Carter Sinclair, James Quall is 13th, 14th is Randy Carpenter, 15th is Dylan Poteet, Ryan Cooper is 16th, 17th is Jake Berg, 18th is Bill Raymond, 19th is Lewis Gordon, and Kyle Smith completes the top 10. New driver for the 11 car, Mark George, has seemingly left the NNSCRA. His number 72 over in the Snickers Cup Series got taken over by Mary Cole, and Seth Cole in the Snickers Cup Series is moved over here also now to the Truck Series, and he's making his first start ever in the NNSCRA Oreo Truck Series. He currently runs in 21st place. So Jack Richards will be the one to put us back under the green. Only one driver has retired from the race, and that is Logan Wilson. Everybody else that was involved, really it wasn't that big a wreck, and the damage was not so significant on the other race cars that they had to retire from the race. They've made repairs, returned to the racetrack, and they will continue on as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing on lap 6 of 20. So 41 drivers started this race, 40 are still running and on the lead lap. Jack Richards looking for his first Truck Series win of the season. Green flag is out. Drivers going to be making moves here. Looks like Carter Sinclair and Brandon Bain moving to the inside line. One thing about Pocono that I did not see just there that normally happens is these drivers are able to move way down low. We've seen them on restarts in the actual NASCAR Sprint Cup Series move about 5-6 wide going down the front straightaway. Of course, then they have a heck of a time trying to settle it out, get back into formation when they get to turn 1, and here's a battle for the lead. Well, I was going to say Jacob Lawler was going for the lead, but it looks like T.O. Bain may have thoughts for the lead instead as he goes 3 wide there. Richards going to have to move out of the way and tuck in behind Jacob Lawler on that high side. And let's see who's going to win this drag race down to the stripe. It is by mere inches T.O. Bain on lap 7. Adam Chambers is there. Ray Wilson is there. And how about Brian Young? Good run for the 07 car right now as they slide through this turn. They're going to go 3 wide, 4 wide, maybe 5 wide. Contact between Chambers and Bain. Contact between Young. Oh, Chambers! Oh, he hung on to it. How did he hold on to it? Chambers was literally sideways, and he held on to that car. Or truck. And so there's no caution. Unbelievable. But the lead has now gone over to Ray Wilson after all that contact was said and done. Brian Young now moves into second. If he finished there, that would be his best career finish in the Oreo Truck Series. Third place now is Carter Sinclair with T.O. Bain and Jack Richards. That's the top 5. And the top 5 are single file. It's like James Qualls has moved into 6th, 7th Sean Henley, and Randy Carpenter, I think, has now moved into the 8th position. Best battle on the racetrack is back here for 3rd. Carter Sinclair has it. T.O. Bain wants it. 2 rookies inside the top 10. They're 2nd and 3rd, Brian Young and Carter Sinclair. Here comes Sinclair to the inside line. He's looking for 2nd place now. Whoa. Jack Richards, I don't know if he was trying to get by T.O. Bain or if he was actually bump drafting him, but T.O. Bain certainly got a big run there through that turn after getting shoved by the 6th car. Here comes Sean Henley into the picture. Haven't talked about Henley all day long, and he's suddenly showing himself up here. Henley's running about mid-pack in the points right now. He hasn't yet moved up into the top 10 or anything, and I'm seeing Jake Berg and Bill Raymond making their emergence now into the top 10 as we are watching rookie Carter Sinclair trying to close in onto the back bumper of the DuPont Premier Colors Chevrolet Silverado of Ray Wilson. Meanwhile, a battle back here for 3rd. Sean Henley going to pick up yet another position. This time it's on T.O. Bain, and there's smoke in the back of the field. I think a spin out just occurred, and I think that may put us under the caution flag for the 2nd time today. No, we are still green. Who was it that spun out? Well, John Stewart and Christian James, they were on pit road. But they weren't the spin out. Who was it that spun out? trying to look for any damage. Seth Cole's coming down pit road. I don't think he spun out. I think these are regularly scheduled green flag pit stops. They are indeed. Seth Cole's on pit road. Matt Nathan's making a pit stop. Here comes Jennifer Miller. And Carter Sinclair has caught Ray Wilson. Side by side, leaning, bouncing off each other, still off of turn 2. And now we're under the caution. Caution's out. Who's it for? Oh! Devin Wilson nails the back of Dougie Shears. Jake Cole may have been involved. Pichu London is in it. Natalie Scott gets through. Cody Llamas is in it. As these drivers have got to get their pit stops done, get off of pit road. Jake Cole was indeed involved. Pichu London, Devin Wilson, Cody Llamas, Dougie Shears. Oh, Kyle Smith was in it. Andrew Waltrip may have gotten a piece of it as well. And so the caution is out. The drivers will not come down pit road now because pit road is closed. And the leader at the line was... Who was it? Sean Henley. Sean Henley got the lead at the line. So, new leader is the 4-monster Chevrolet Silverado of Sean Henley. We're under the caution flag. Let's take a look and see what happened. Okay, here's what happened. Looks like Andrew Waltrip and Timmy Pacioli get together right there. Sends them both up into the outside retaining wall, and there's nowhere for these guys to go. The track's just blocked up. Kyle Smith gets into it. Cody Llamas is involved, and Dougie Shears is going to get held up right there. He's going to get a piece of it. Something happened further up here, too, because there's Pichu London. Oh! Kyle Smith's car gets the whole wheel well ripped off. Jake Cole and Pichu London, I think they may have gotten together earlier. In an earlier incident, we'll have to look at that. And then watch Devin Wilson coming through here, and oh! Now, Devin Wilson and Dougie Shears, they're good friends. I don't think there was any trying to get back at somebody there, any revenge on the mind there. I think Devin just didn't realize the 3 car wasn't up to speed. I think he thought the 3 maybe had made his way through that wreck and was still up to full speed, but he wasn't. Let's see now what happened to Jake Cole and Pichu London, because they had an earlier incident. Almost the exact same thing that happened to Andrew Waltrip and Timmy Pacioli happens here to Jake Cole and Pichu London. This was battling out for the 13th position. Jake Cole comes in doing very well in the standings, so certainly not what he had to have happen to him. The Delphi number 25 car spinning, Pichu London spinning. However, I don't think Jake Cole hit any other race cars. However, the same cannot be said for the 06 of Pichu London, as I believe he's going to get nailed by Kyle Smith right here. And just look at it rip the whole left front wheel well of that race car off, and Cody Llamas goes sliding and slides right into Pichu London. So you could say we had 2 different incidents occur. However, they kind of mirrored each other. Devin Wilson runs right in the back of Dougie Shears. That's a hard lick, but quite a few drivers involved in this. Let's go back to green flag racing. I'll tell you what, those drivers that made pit stops there during that green flag run, they got off pit road. They may be the leaders when we get ready to go back to green flag racing. Well, heartbreaks for the leaders, Sean Henley and Carter Sinclair. Watch this. Dougie Shears, he's trying to get down to pit road. He couldn't make it because the fuel had gone out of his race car, and Henley and Carter Sinclair get into each other, and they've sustained damage, and both of them are out of the race. So the top 2 drivers that were leading us under the caution flag are out of the race. Sean Henley, what a tough break for him, and Carter Sinclair, who was en route to his best finish of the season. You see the 34 pull in. He retires, and Sean Henley retires. That's a tough break right there, and all because of a slower race car, and that was Dougie Shears. So we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. As we know, Henley and Carter Sinclair, they have retired from the race. What a tough break there. The 04 car of John Stewart, he's being listed 2 laps down. Apparently he did not get out ahead of the leaders. So he's in 34th, and cars that are out of the race are the cars of Kyle Smith, Jake Cole, Cody Llamas, Devin Wilson, Pichu London, and Dougie Shears. They join Logan Wilson back in the garage area. And those drivers are out as a result of what put us under our latest caution. We're on lap 14 of 20. We'll go back to green flag racing on lap 15 of 20. Seth Cole ended up making a green flag pit stop during that green flag run, got out ahead of leaders, and he is the leader now since he stayed out when everybody else pitted. 1 lap down, or 2 laps down, rather, in 34th is where we find John Stewart. Second place now is Christian Janes. He made a pit stop as well. Then you got Matt Nathan. He's up to third now after the pit stops. Jennifer Miller is up to fourth. And Brian Young is in fifth. First car that did not make a pit stop under the green flag and made a pit stop there under the caution is James Qualls. So he has slightly fresher tires, but not really that much fresher than these other guys ahead of him. He is in sixth. Seventh is Ray Wilson now. Eighth is Jake Berg. Ninth is T.O. Bain. And Randy Carpenter is up in 10th. 11th place now is Jack Richards. 12th is Bill Raymond. Let's see if we can get a good view. Here we go. Andrew Waltrip is 13th. 14th is Lewis Gordon. And Jacob Lawler, our pole sitters, back in the 15th position. 16th is Ryan Acosta. 17th is Adam Chambers. John Dillon back in 18th. Barney Ward runs 19th. And Logan Ryan is 20th. 21st is Jordan Hester. 22nd is Ryan Cooper. 23rd is Jacob Cook. Lisa Shears is 24th. Jonathan Morris 25th. 26th is Brandon Bain. Dylan Poteet is 27th. Trent Dunham 28th. Timmy Pacioli is 29th. And 30th is Natalie Scott. Last car on the lead lap in the 31st position is Nick Eggleston. We have 32 cars, green flag out, by the way. We have 32 cars on the racetrack, 31 of them on the lead lap. The 04 there, you see right there, John Stewart is 2 laps down as they all try and make their way around him. That's going to cause some problems. They're getting held up behind the 04. Actually, only one car is. That's Christian James. James was second. Oh, in the wall. Oh, James Qualls gets turned. Are they going to miss it? Oh, Jack Richards got turned around too. See if Richards saved it. Yes, he did. Jack Richards, what a save right there by the 6th. But James Qualls, we know, got turned around there. John Dillon was involved in something as well. Our pole sitter, Jacob Lawler's in it. Timmy Pacioli is in it. John Dillon, heavy right front damage to that race car. Richards, who got spun around, he's continued on, though. And the leader coming down to the caution is going to be Seth Cole. As we are on lap 16, now the question is, will we be able to get ready to go back under the green flag again, or will this race under the caution? But our pole sitter is involved. James Qualls is in it. Jacob Lawler, of course, I just mentioned, our pole sitter. Timmy Pacioli, John Dillon. As we are under the caution flag, let's see what happened. It's like a couple of rookies get together here in turn 2. Or I guess this is turn 1. Brian Young gets into James Qualls. Up into Matt Nathan he goes. And then the 33 just gets turned around facing the wrong way. And everybody's got to try and avoid him. And into the picture is going to come John Dillon and Timmy Pacioli. There's Jacob Lawler. Nowhere to go. Hard lick there. Oh, John Dillon gets his damage right there. Timmy Pacioli, he rams right into the back of Jacob Lawler. There's nowhere he could go. He's stuck on the high side. And I don't think Andrew Waltrip really sustained any damage. Well, right there, he gets hit in the right door of his race car. But not really that much damage to the K&N Toyota Tundra. But there's the damage. Pacioli, Lawler, Qualls, and then, of course, John Dillon up here in the 14. Heavy right front damage to him. He will not get his 3rd win of the season here at Pocono. Let's take a look now at the spin that Jack Richards had. This was after they had tried to avoid that first wreck. Matt Nathan bounces into the wall and he makes the least little bit with contact with Jack Richards. When Richards comes down, Christian James is already there, and so it turns around the 6 car. The one beneficial thing for Jack Richards, though, was the fact that this Long Pond straightaway has a lot of grass before you get to the inside retaining wall, and he utilized that. Gets the car turned around, punches the throttle, and continues on. So Jack Richards does not wreck out, but he did lose quite a few positions after getting spun out there. Now the question I have is, are these drivers going to be able to, 1, go back under the green flag, and 2, will they make pit stops so early after making pit stops before? We're going to find all that out in just a moment. Let's go see if we are going to end this race under caution or under green. We have our answer. 1, the drivers did not come down pit road. Not really surprised. Those tires are pretty fresh. They just pitted about 6 laps ago to get their tires and fuel, between 6 and 8 laps ago. And number 2, we are going to go back under the green flag. It will be a 1-lap shootout to decide the race here at Pocono. Before we show you who is in contention to still take this win, drivers that are out after that incident occurred are the cars of Andrew Waltrip, John Dillon, James Qualls, Jacob Lawler, and Timmy Pacioli. Alright, these are the drivers that are going to settle it out. Rookie Seth Cole in his first Truck Series start out in front. Could he pull off the major upset and win here today? Jennifer Miller. You haven't talked about her all day. That pit strategy that she and Seth Cole played out has put them at the front of the field, and she could be looking for her first win of the season. Ray Wilson up into third place. Randy Carpenter has moved his way into the top 5 in fourth. And Bill Raymond. This track's not too far away from Bullet Super Speedway, and Bill Raymond did well there, so he's up in the top 5 here today. Jake Berg, he is 6th. T.O. Bain still very much in it in 7th. Lewis Gordon in the 23, he is in 8th. Ryan Acosta's now in the top 10 in 9th, and Ryan Cooper runs in 10th. Christian James got the short end of the exchange on that last green flag run. He is 11th. Then you got Jacob Cook. He's up to 12th. Lisa Shears in 13th place. 14th is Matt Nathan. Logan Ryan is in 15th. 16th is Jonathan Morris. 17th is Dylan Poteet. 18th is Barney Ward. 19th is Jordan Hesder. And Trent Dunham is 20th. 21st is Nick Eggleston. 22nd is Brian Young. 23rd is Brandon Bain. 24th is Adam Chambers. Natalie Scott 25th. And Jack Richards is the last car on the lead lap in 26th place. Now, is it possible for a driver from 26th to come up and win this thing? Well, if a wreck occurred and he could pick up spots, Jack Richards could pick up a top 10 finish. It ain't over till it's over. Pocono has brought about some surprises here today, and we may be in for more as we have one lap remaining. The green flag and white flag are displayed at the same time. Seth Cole gets a great restart, but that may not be the best thing for him, as Jennifer Miller may be able to run him down. Here comes Ray Wilson, though. This is a battle on for second place. Best thing Seth Cole could see behind him is them battling double wide. Allows him to get away. They are now 3 wide back there. That's for third. Raymond, Carpenter, and oh no, they wreck! Carpenter and Jennifer Miller, who are both en route to top 5 finishes. Logan Ryan's involved. We'll get back to that in a minute. Ray Wilson and Bill Raymond, though, they're starting to run down the Ford F1's 50 of Seth Cole, the Ford F Series. And Seth Cole's going to try and put major blocks. Look at him blocking the Ray Wilson machine. But here comes Wilson. Wilson to the inside is going to try and go for the win. But here's Bill Raymond. He's looking for second. Seth Cole throws the block out of turn 4 for the final time. Seth Cole's going to, in his first Truck Series start, take the checkered flags here at Pocono. The checkered flag and the caution flag wave at the same time. And a few drivers, Lisa Shears, Dylan Poteet, and Trent Dunham, just got top 10 finishes after getting through that wreck. But Natalie Scott was involved, Jordan Hester, Brian Young in it, Brandon Bain was involved, John Stewart was in it. I think the car of Logan Ryan sustained some damage. Barney Ward may have been in it. We know Randy Carpenter got some of it. Ryan Cooper possibly involved as well. Jack Richards, he moved up from 26th to 18th. He's going to finish 18th position. Nick Eggleston, he may have been involved. We know that Jennifer Miller was in it as well. And so the caution is out, but the race is over. And there's your winner, Seth Cole. In his first Truck Series start, Seth Cole is going to win the race. And how ironic, after the 11 car almost went to victory lane at Talladega last week with Mark George behind the wheel, but fuel strategy did not work out in its favor. And so Seth Cole kind of shows Mark George how it's done, as he's going to bring the 11 car to victory lane here 1 week later at Pocono. Let's take a look and see what puts under the caution flag for the final time today. This was 3 wide for third place, and pretty much all alliances, everything, it's all out the window. You just go for it now with a 1-lap shootout. And 2 rookies, Randy Carpenter and Jennifer Miller, they were en route to top 5 finishes. Just a heartbreak right there that those 2 got involved there. And Lewis Gordon, he's going to get held up behind this, lose a few spots. Christian James and Jacob Cook somehow get by on the high side, but here comes Logan Ryan in the 00. He's going to make contact right there. He's involved. Watch Trent Dunham and Dylan Poteet and Nick Eggleston all work down on the inside to get by Ryan Cooper. He was involved as well. And I thought that some other drivers... Oh, there was an incident back here. Let's rewind just a little bit. Oh, looks like Jordan Hester and Barney Ward got together coming off that turn as well. I didn't see that. Nick Eggleston almost turned Trent Dunham behind there as well. Dunham, great save by him, and that kept him in contention to get a top 10 finish. But there you go, Hester and Barney Ward, they get together, and here comes some more drivers. Brian Young, he's caught up on the high side. He's going to hit Barney Ward. Natalie Scott just plows into the back of Brian Young. Brandon Bain plows in. John Stewart plows in. And it's just a parking lot here on the Long Pond straightaway. Lots of drivers involved. And a lot of them who were running up inside the top 5 at one point involved here. And that put us under the caution flag for the final time today. So the winner of this race, Seth Cole, in his first Truck Series start. Congrats to him. He'll represent the 11 in the Oreo Truck Series All-Star race. And by the way, that's not too far away. We got this race weekend and then the next week at Atlanta. And then we're off to M&M's Super Speedway for the All-Star races and the All-Star Open and all that. Maybe a different format in the All-Star Open. I'm still working on that. I'll let you know as soon as I can on what that whole format's going to be. But Seth Cole picks up the win here at Pocono. What other surprises are in store for us? Have no idea, but keep it here because we got the Division 2 of the Oreo Truck Series coming, and then the 2 divisions of the Mobile Cup Series, and the 3 divisions of the Snickers Cup Series before we finish off the Ruby Tuesday race weekend here at Pocono. Here comes the finishing order. If you were in this race, be sure and check back at the end of the Division 2 race of the Oreo Truck Series for the point standings to see where you are after your finish here today. Thanks for watching. This has been the NNSCRA Sports Channel Offline Racing at its best. And be sure to check us out on Twitter at NNSCRA Sports.